Most women I talk to who are trying to reverse osteoporosis are doing at least a few of these things, and they're the very reasons their bone density isn't improving. I made these same mistakes myself in the beginning, and once I stopped, everything changed. Today, I'll walk you through 6 common mistakes that could be holding you back and exactly what to do instead. This is part of my Reverse Osteoporosis Naturally video series where I share what really worked for me. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Glory B and this is Glory B TV, where we focus on looking fabulous, feeling amazing, and aging gracefully. When I was 61, I reversed osteoporosis naturally without taking any of the bone drugs. Since then, I've heard from so many women who are trying to do the same, but I've noticed that a lot of them are unknowingly making some costly mistakes that can slow down their progress. So in today's video, I'm sharing the 6 biggest mistakes women make when trying to rebuild stronger bones naturally and how to fix them, starting today. The first big mistake many women make is not exercising enough or not doing the right kinds of exercises to build real bone strength. Bones don't just get stronger on their own. They respond to weight-bearing exercise and impact exercises. These types of movements send signals to your bone cells to start building new, denser bone tissue. The safest and most effective forms of weight-bearing exercise are strength training and resistance workouts for both upper and lower body. For your upper body, you can do exercises like single-arm dumbbell rows, lateral raises, bicep curls, and reverse flies, all of which you can do right at home. You can even build amazing strength just by doing push-ups. Now, when I started trying to do push-ups, I could only do 2, but a friend showed me a simple way to build up gradually, and now I do 5 sets of 20 push-ups. That's 100 total. I'll link to that video below if you want to see how I worked up to it. For lower body, I usually head to the gym for weight training, but there are so many other ways to create impact for your bones, and you can do most of these at home. Jumping is one of the best bone building exercises and the most impactful. It's what I use to help reverse my osteoporosis. Now, if jumping feels too intense or your osteoporosis is more severe, you can try stomping. I demonstrate how to do stomping safely in another video I'll link below. And then if stomping still feels too hard in your joints or too impactful, even heel drops or march style walking can help stimulate bone growth. Other great options include jogging, running, hiking, dancing, jumping rope, playing tennis, or resistance band workouts. The key is to move against resistance and impact the ground. That's what keeps bones strong and rebuilding naturally. The second mistake many people make is eating too much sugar. The problem is sugar doesn't just affect your waistline. It can actually damage cartilage and weaken your bones. According to Save Our Bones, studies show that consuming too much sugar causes your body to lose calcium through the urine, even in healthy people. And that makes sense because sugar is a highly acidifying food. If you have a sweet tooth like I do, this one can be tough. But over time, I've retrained my taste buds by switching from refined sugar to natural options like fresh fruit, dates, and a little maple syrup. Those small swaps really do make a big difference. The third mistake so many people make is eating and drinking dairy. Now, we've all been told for years that milk builds strong bones, but the truth is it can actually do the opposite. Dairy foods are acid forming in the body, and when the body becomes too acidic, it pulls calcium out of your bones to restore balance. That calcium loss weakens bones over time. And here's something most people don't realize. Many of those studies claiming that milk builds bone were funded by the dairy industry itself. Independent research tells a very different story. Dairy, cheese, and milk can all create an acid load that prevents bone cells from rebuilding properly. In fact, countries with the highest per capita intake of dairy foods also have higher rates of osteoporosis and bone breaking, such as Slovenia, New Zealand, and Scandinavian countries. If you want to support your bones, focus instead on alkalizing plant foods that actually help bone cells regenerate. And by the way, it's not just dairy. Other acid-forming choices like colas, coffee, and alcohol can have the same negative effect. Which brings us to mistake number 4, which is not eating enough fresh vegetables and fruit. Your bones absolutely love fresh produce. It's packed with amino acids, vitamins, and minerals that help keep your body in a more alkaline state instead of acidic. And that's important because bones rebuild best in an alkaline environment. Some of the most important nutrients for bone health are vitamin K, vitamin B6, manganese, copper, zinc, boron, and silicon. You'll find these in dark leafy greens, root vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and even sea vegetables like nori and dulse flakes. And here's a fun fact. Some studies show that eating about 6 prunes a day can help increase your boron intake and support bone density. Just maybe start with less than 6 prunes one day and see how it goes. If you're worried about the oxalates in greens like spinach, lightly steaming or sauteing them actually helps lower the oxalate content while keeping all of those bone healthy nutrients. And that brings me to mistake number 5, eating too much gluten. Gluten is the protein found in wheat, rye, and barley. And here's the problem. It's highly inflammatory in the body, especially this modern, heavily processed wheat that we have here in the United States. When your body is inflamed, it can actually leach important minerals from your bones, slowing down the rebuilding process. Dr. Shostak, who I've interviewed several times about osteoporosis, explained how many of her patients were eating gluten at nearly every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sometimes even during snacks. And it's easy to see how that happens, right? Bread, crackers, cereal, pasta, gluten sneaks in everywhere.
This is the joy for me. I love bread. I love bread. I love bread.
I've known people who struggled with inflammation-related conditions, and once they cut out gluten from their diet, they noticed a major difference in their energy, mobility, and overall health. It's not always easy at first, but your bones will thank you for it. And these days, it's simpler than ever to go gluten-free. There are so many delicious options, from gluten-free breads and pastas to flours made from oats, brown rice, quinoa, or even a blend. It should be a fairly easy transition to lower the amount of gluten you eat. Mistakes number 6 that so many people make is not getting their vitamin D level to the right level. And that's something you simply can't guess. You have to get your blood tested regularly, at least once or twice a year. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for building and maintaining strong bones. Now, if your doctor says to you, well, take 2,000 IUs of vitamin D3 daily, without ever testing your blood, it's time to find a new doctor. Everyone absorbs and processes vitamin D differently, so 2 people taking the exact same supplement and getting the same amount of sunshine can still have very different blood levels of vitamin D. That's why testing is key. For example, a man who trimmed my trees was outside in the sun all day, but he never got his blood tested for vitamin D. Later, he got sick with a disease that's linked to low vitamin D. And when the hospital finally tested his blood, his vitamin D level was only 30 nanograms per milliliter. He was shocked because he was outside most days, all day, and he thought he'd have plenty of vitamin D in his blood from sun exposure. I personally aim to keep my vitamin D levels between 70 and 85 nanograms per milliliter, or NG/mL. Now, that's where I found my body feels its best and my bones stay strong. The Institute of Medicine recommends 20 ng/ml, but that's just far too low based on the actual healthy doctors I follow. I'm part of a vitamin D study that tests my blood twice a year, every spring and fall, and I can check all of my results online. For instance, my level in spring 2025 was 89 ng/ml, which is a little on the high side. When I scroll through my past results, I notice that during stressful times, my levels dip. And that tells me I need to increase my D3 supplement a bit during stressful times. And here's something fascinating. I haven't had a cold in the last year, even though I'm now 65, and all the naysayers out there tell me that seniors in my age bracket get sick more often. Then the last time I had the flu was 1975. That's how powerful it is when you get your vitamin D levels right. I'll link the vitamin D study I'm a part of in the description box if you'd like to check it out. So there you have it, the 6 biggest mistakes that can slow down or even prevent your bones from rebuilding naturally. Not exercising, eating too much sugar, eating and drinking dairy, not eating enough fresh vegetables and fruit, eating too much gluten, not getting your vitamin D level to the right range. If you've been making any of these mistakes, don't worry. The good news is you can fix them starting today. Small, consistent changes in your diet, exercise, and supplementation can make a huge difference in your bone strength and overall health. In fact, I've created a step-by-step program called Kickstart Your Health that helps women like you transition to a healthy, plant-based, bone-supporting lifestyle, building healthy habits that last and staying motivated while seeing real results. Check out the link in the description box below to see how you can start rebuilding stronger bones naturally and join the many women who are seeing improvements without ever taking bone drugs. If you found this video helpful, you're going to love my next video where I share the exact supplements I used to rebuild stronger bones naturally. Tap its image on the right side of your screen. It's the next step in building stronger bones and feeling amazing. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next video.